Namaste, Javins. Myself, Javin Dr. Barkha Khurana. Today in biomechanics, we will be talking about the joints. In this, we will classify the joints into fibrous joints, cartilaginous joints, synovial joints. We will discuss about the types of movements of synovial joint and so on. See, the fibrous joints are the joints where the bones are held together by dense collagen fibers. The cartilaginous joints are the bones that are held together by cartilage. The synovial joints are the joints where the bones are held together by ligaments. Then next is the functional classification according to the movement. We have synarthrosis, which are immovable joints. We have amphiarthrosis, which are slightly movable, and diarthrosis, which are freely movable joints. The fibrous joints, if we talk about them, they lack a synovial cavity. The articulating bones are held very closely together by dense irregular connective tissue. There is little or no movement. Examples are sutures, syndesmosis, and gomphosis. The sutures are the joints which occur only in the bones of the skull. The syndesmosis permits slight movement and are joined together by interosseous membrane, example tibiofibular joint. The gomphosis are the immovable joints like peg and socket of teeth. Then are the cartilaginous joints. They also lack synovial cavity and allow little or no movement. We have synchondrosis and symphysis in these type of joints. The synchondrosis are connected by the tissue hyaline cartilage, and they have an epiphyseal growth plate. The symphysis are slightly movable joints like pubic symphysis, which is between the anterior surface of hip bones. Next is the synovial joints that allow a joint to move freely. The ligaments hold the bones together in a synovial joint. They have an articular capsule, which is a kind of covering. They contain synovial fluid, and which is secreted by the synovial membrane. The function of synovial fluid is that it is there to help in lubricating the joint. So the function of synovial fluid is that it helps in the lubrication of the joint. It provides and helps in reducing the friction. Then it also helps in absorbing shocks and supply the nutrients and oxygen to the cartilage. This is a diagram of the synovial joint. You can see this. Then there are ligaments and articular discs, like collateral ligaments of the knee joint. Then cruciate ligaments, menisci are also there. Now we'll talk about the nerve supply and blood supply. The nerve endings convey information about pain from the joint to the spinal cord and brain. And nerve endings also respond to the degree of movement and stretch at a joint. Then we'll talk about bursae and tendon. Bursae are sac-like structures which contain fluid similar to synovial fluid. And these are located between tendons, ligaments, and bones. The tendon sheaths are the coverings that wrap the tendon and reduce friction. The types of movements permissible at synovial joints are gliding, angular movements, rotation, special movements. Here you can see the diagrams. Gliding are the back and forth movement and from side to side. Angular movements are flexion, extension, lateral flexion, hyperextension, so on. Here you can see the movements. Here. Now, synovial joints are classified based on the type of movement, like planar, hinge, pivot, condyloid, saddle, ball and socket. The planar joints, so we have planar joints that permit back and forth and side to side movements like intercarpal joint. Then we have hinge joints, which acts as a hinge of a door, permitting only 1 degree of freedom of movement like flexion extension. The examples are knee and elbow. Then we have pivot joints, which move around a pivot or a fixed point. The surface of one bone articulates with a ring formed partly by another bone. For example, for example, the radioulnar joint. Then we have the condyloid joint. The example of this is wrist. The projection of one bone fits into the oval shaped depression of another bone. Here you can see the diagram of pivot joint as well as condyloid joint. Then we have saddle joint, in which one bone is saddle shaped and the articular surface of other bone fits into the saddle, for example, the thumb. Then we have ball and socket joint, example, shoulder and hip, where one bone fits into a cup-like depression of another bone. So this is all in this session. I hope you understood the session well, and if you have any doubts, you can post a comment. This session is powered by Digital 2.0 version of Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women University. Thank you.